Listen to me, my beloved child. Stop what you are doing and let your heart be still. This moment is not an accident. You did not find this message by chance. It was me, your God, who brought you here because I need to speak to you, right now in this sacred space between heaven and earth. I see you. I see the weariness in your eyes, the ache in your body, the heaviness you carry that no one else notices. I know about the sleepless nights when your mind races with worry. I know about the mornings when you wake up already exhausted, already dreading what the day might bring. I have been watching you, my child, and my heart breaks with yours. I saw when you sat at your kitchen table staring at those bills, trying to figure out how to make the numbers work. I saw when you smiled at people who had no idea your heart was breaking inside. I saw when you checked your bank account one more time, hoping somehow things had changed. I saw the tears you cried in your car before you walked into work. I saw when you whispered prayers in the shower because it was the only place you felt safe to let your guard down. I know the pain of betrayal. I know what it feels like when people you trusted walk away without explanation. I saw when they left you standing there, confused and hurt, wondering what you did wrong. I saw when your kindness was taken for granted, when your efforts went unnoticed, when promises made to you were broken, like they meant nothing. I saw it all, and I want you to know that not a single moment escaped my notice. There were nights when you wondered if I had forgotten you, nights when you questioned whether your prayers were even reaching heaven. You looked around and saw others prospering, others who do not even acknowledge me living comfortable lives, while you, who seek me faithfully, struggle just to get by. I know how unfair it has felt. I know how hard it has been to keep believing when nothing seemed to change. But listen closely to my voice right now. Feel this sweetness that heals you. I have never left you. Not for one breath, not for one heartbeat. Even when you felt completely alone, I was right there beside you. Even when you could not sense my presence, I was holding you through it. Even when my silence felt unbearable, I was working in ways you could not see. Every tear you cried, I collected. Every prayer you whispered, I heard. Every time you chose to get up and try again, I celebrated your courage. You did not give up. That is what I see. That is what moves my heart. Even when everything in you wanted to quit, you stayed. Even when your faith felt fragile and your hope felt dim, you kept reaching for me. You kept praying even when the words felt empty. You kept believing even when belief was hard, and I have been so proud of you, my child. So incredibly proud of the strength you have shown when you thought you had none left. Now I want to tell you something about what has been happening behind the scenes. The delays you have experienced, the closed doors, the prayers that seemed unanswered. They were not signs that I forgot about you. There has been a battle in the unseen realm. Spiritual forces have been working to block what I have prepared for you. The enemy saw what I see in you. He saw your future, your calling, the blessings with your name written on them, and he panicked. So he sent attacks against your finances to make you feel powerless. He sent people to betray you to make you feel alone. He orchestrated delays to make you feel forgotten. He whispered doubts to make you question everything. But what the enemy did not count on was my faithfulness. What he did not understand was that I never let go of what belongs to me. Your name is not just a label. Your name carries weight in heaven. Right now, in this very moment, there are angels who know your name, who have been assigned to your situation, who are taking positions for what is about to unfold. Your name is on a blessing that has been prepared specifically for you, not for someone else, for you. While you thought nothing was happening, I was moving heaven and earth on your behalf. I was in meetings you know nothing about. I was positioning people who are going to bless you, people who do not even know you exist yet. I was opening doors that seemed permanently locked. I was clearing paths that were blocked with obstacles. I never stopped working. My beloved, I never stopped fighting for you. There is a reason some people had to leave your life. I know it hurt. I know you still think about them sometimes, still wonder what went wrong. But I need you to trust me when I tell you this. Not everyone can walk with you to where I am taking you. Some people were only meant to be in your life for a season, and that season ended. Some relationships had to be removed because they were holding you back, draining the very energy you need for what is coming. I did not remove them to punish you. I removed them to protect you. I was making room. I was clearing space for something greater. Stop shedding tears for people who did not value you. Do not keep a place in your heart for those who caused you pain. If they wanted to leave, let them go. And if one day they come back, look closely at what you feel. Not every open arm deserves your trust. I will teach you to discern. I know your heart longs for love, and I care about every detail of your life, including your relationships. But trust my timing. Let me shape things in my way. Instead, my child, learn to see your own worth. You are not defined by who stayed or who left. You are defined by whose you are. My Holy Spirit lives in you. He is not just invisible power. He is a gentle presence, like a dove resting on your shoulder, ready to guide every step you take. Do not ignore him. Do not hurt him with doubt or impatience. Trust me and let my Spirit lead you, because what I am preparing is greater than anything you have imagined. Now hear what I am releasing over your life. You have been praying for provision. I am bringing abundance. You have been asking for relief. I am bringing restoration. You have been hoping for a breakthrough. I am bringing a complete turnaround that will leave you breathless. I am releasing unexpected money into your life. Not money you have to beg for. Not money that comes with shame or strings attached. Unexpected money, surprise provision from sources you never imagined. I am opening streams of income you have not tapped into yet. I am connecting you with opportunities you were not even looking for. Before the end of this month, you are going to see evidence of what I am telling you. You are going to receive a phone call, a message, news that will make you fall to your knees in gratitude. You are going to experience a moment when you realize this is God. This is really God showing up for me. It is coming, my child. The miracle is already on its way. I am giving you back what the enemy stole. The years that felt wasted, I am restoring. The opportunities that passed by, I am multiplying. The relationships that ended in pain, I am healing you from. I am not just giving back what you lost. I am giving you double honor where you experienced shame, double blessing where you experienced lack, double joy where you experienced sorrow, because I do not just restore, I multiply. I do not just repair, I upgrade. I do not just fix what was broken, I make it better than it was before. There is a promise hanging over your life that has not been fulfilled yet, but I am not a man who lies. What I spoke over you in the beginning is still true. What I whispered to your heart is still coming. Time has not canceled it. Delay has not erased it. My word over your life stands forever. You are about to walk into rooms you never thought you would enter. Doors that have been shut for years are about to swing open. And when they do, people who overlooked you are going to notice. People who underestimated you are going to be surprised. Not because you fought for their attention, but because I am elevating you. I am lifting you up in their sight. I am making them witnesses to what I do for those who wait on me. This is your season of vindication. The whispers about you are going to turn into praise. The questions about you are going to turn into declarations. They are going to have to say, look at what God did. They are going to have to acknowledge it was not luck. It was me. And your blessing is not just about you. Your breakthrough is going to give hope to people on the verge of giving up. When they see what I do for you, they are going to believe again. You are not just receiving, you are becoming a blessing. Now I want you to do something as an act of faith, like this video right now. Not as a casual gesture, but as a spiritual act. When you press that button, you are saying yes to what I am releasing. You are agreeing with heaven. You are activating faith. Do it now. Then go to the comments and write 11. 11. These numbers are not random. They are a sign that you are aligned with my timing. When you write them, you are declaring that you are ready to receive, that you trust me even when you do not understand. Write it with faith. Write it knowing that as you do, heaven is responding. And share this message with someone who needs to hear my voice today. When you share, you are not just forwarding a video, you are becoming a messenger of hope. You are extending my love. And when you bless others with this word, I will make sure you are blessed in return. I need you to understand something about my Holy Spirit who lives in you. He is real. He is with you right now as you hear these words. He is the one who brought you here. You may not see him with your eyes, but he sees every part of you. You may not hear his voice with your ears, but he is speaking to your spirit, confirming everything I am telling you. It was the Holy Spirit who comforted you when no one noticed your pain. He gave you strength to keep going when you saw no reason to continue. He brought peace when anxiety tried to overwhelm you. Do you remember that moment when something inside whispered, "It is going to be okay"? That was him, the same Spirit who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you. You are never alone. Can you feel his presence right now? That warmth rising in your chest, that stirring in your spirit, that hope beginning to bloom again, that is him. This is not emotion, this is confirmation. That peace washing over you is not random, it is manifestation. Those tears forming, let them fall. They are healing tears. They are freedom tears. I am the God of miracles, and my power has no limits. I erase your past mistakes. I clear your path. I prepare a future full of hope, a future where my glory will shine in your life in extraordinary ways. Trust in me because I suffered for you. On the cross I carried every punishment that belonged to you so that now you can have abundant life. I have a glorious inheritance prepared for you, one you will not only receive in eternity but begin to experience now. I have blessings that will blow your mind. I have peace that goes beyond understanding, ready to flood your heart. I have planted you in fertile soil where my love and grace grow without limits, where day and night you are surrounded by my protection and care. Wherever you go, I am with you. I am removing from your soul that deep root of loneliness. I am healing that emptiness in your chest. I am erasing that shadow of fear that makes you feel something bad is always coming. If you have been betrayed, if those you trusted left you crying, know that my glory surrounds you. It comes to whisper words of love to your heart, words that heal and restore. I am erasing the marks of your wounds. I am lifting you up. I am raising you again, strong, standing, ready for a future full of victory. Your life is in my hands. Allow me to put things and people in their right place around you. It was never my will for you to walk alone, always anxious, burdened by need. Do not fear anyone. Do not cling to what is material. As long as you have life, you have more than hope. As long as you have faith, doors will stay open and miracles can happen. Do me a favor. Go and tell every person in your family that I love them. With tenderness and calm, look them in the eyes and say, God says he loves you, and I love you too. Let your tears fall. Do not be ashamed. Today, a miracle of healing begins in your home. This blessing I am sending is surrounding you. It is growing. It is coming. Receive it with gratitude. Come back tomorrow. I want to speak to you again. You will hear my voice and be filled with peace. You will know that with all my love I am waiting for you. I love you. I am right here beside you. Always you know I will never leave. I am firm like a rock, and nothing can move me. Close your eyes and breathe in this divine breath I am sending. If you are in a hurry, take this peace with you and leave your anxiety here. Sometimes you feel you do not deserve it, but I will keep walking beside you out of love. I will not change my mind. You want to come closer, but you hold back when it is time to give me the things that steal your peace. Doubt steps in and you keep carrying that heavy bag of bitterness. Hear me, I love you. You are free. I hold you gently and keep you safe. You may face challenges today, but wherever you go, feel it inside. I am with you. I will keep whispering these healing words so you do not forget me, so you do not drift away, so your emotions do not deceive your mind. I will keep a flame burning in your heart, and when darkness comes with its cold and fear, my light will shine even brighter. Give me the chance to show you how much I love you. Pay attention throughout your day when my voice whispers. I am speaking to you, pouring divine oil over your head, preparing you to be blessed. I am removing false ideas from your mind. If you have failed, my forgiveness cleanses and lifts you up. It is not my will that you crawl on the ground, crushed by fear or guilt or regrets. I am not here to accuse you. I am not here to judge you. I am here to love you, to bring you healing, not only to your body but to your soul. I want to restore every broken part, to touch your heart with comfort, and pour out the power of my Holy Spirit upon you. Do not hide, do not shut down. Your place is in the light. Do not let fear silence your prayer. Do not stop walking. Even when everything seems to fall apart, my plan is still at work. I am preparing your path, clearing your way, removing everything that tries to hurt your soul or steal what is most precious to you. Do not be afraid when people walk away, when doors close, when things you value seem to slip from your hands. You still have the most important thing, my living presence within you. I will give you great love and patience so you can speak to others with gentleness and kindness. Do not become their judge. I am sending you to love them and bring them back, not to punish or reject them. If you truly love me and trust me, you must learn this truth. Anyone can change. I have a new life for every person who truly repents. Open your heart and give the people you love that chance. Pray for them. Place them in my hands. Treat them kindly when you see them. Let me work in their lives. I will not fail you. I will reveal many things to you in dreams. I will bring to your mind people you have not seen for a long time, and you will meet them again. When you see them, smile, reach out your hand and give them this message. Tell them I love them. Tell them I want to change them. Tell them I know their thoughts and see their discouragement. Tell them that today is the day of salvation, not yesterday or tomorrow, but today wherever you are, pray for them, even a short prayer. Bless them with joy because you are planting a seed of faith in their hearts that will grow into a strong tree. Obey me, believe in me. Learn to live by faith. Your problems are already solved. You can face life peacefully. Starting today, great miracles will begin. You will lift your hands and praise my holy name. I have a plan for you, and no one who tries to stop it will succeed. You have heard my voice. There is no reason to keep picking up crumbs others drop. You have your own blessings and a heavenly Father who welcomes you, heals you, lifts you up, prospers you, and always takes care of you. Those who caused you to stumble will regret it. Those who look down on you will learn a lesson they will never forget. I defend those I love, and I will make your enemies run from you. I am clearing your path of obstacles right now, so use this time wisely. Do not lock yourself away crying over a past that is gone. Do not shout your pain to the wind, it cannot hear you. Do not long for false comfort from those who rejected you. Here by my side you will find life, a joy you have never known, an emotion you never imagined could exist. I have given you a powerful reason to live. I am opening this path that will lead you to your dreams. Walk it with me. You do not need to look back anymore. There is no one in your past who loves you as much as I do, who wants your good as deeply, who can bless you and guide you like I can. Hold tightly to this truth. You are loved and protected by a supernatural God. I am not asking you for anything material. Gold and silver do not move me. What moves me is your faith and sincerity. I see that you truly want to change. You want to live life the way it was meant to be lived, enjoying every moment and using your talents to bless others, starting with your family. In your heart, you want to tell the world that there is love, forgiveness, and salvation, that there is a way, a truth, and in my presence people can find strength to stand up and begin again. Leave the past behind. Make that decision for yourself, and if you need help, just tell me. I will reach out my hand. I will remove from your path everything that gets in your way. Do not be sad when you no longer hear from those who used to manipulate you. I gave my life on the cross to give you freedom. You were not born to live in emotional slavery. You will no longer miss the shouts and rejections of false loves. I am giving you a spirit of love, self-control, courage, and honesty. If you have to face people from your past or walk through fires that once burned you, do not be afraid. I am by your side. I will shut the mouths of lions and defeat mocking enemies. You will walk through fire, but your clothes, your hair, even the soles of your feet will not be harmed, because today in my holy name you will face those conflicts, and through my Holy Spirit you will overcome them. Say it with faith. Yes, you believe in me. Activate your faith. Strengthen your soul with my word and remember all of my holy promises. They are your shield and your sword when you face adversity. Who is with you? The Almighty God, all-powerful King of Kings, Lord of Lords, majestic in power and authority. There is no bad habit or addiction you cannot overcome. The enemy has no power over you. Believe this. No curse, no witchcraft, no binding spell, no evil charm can harm you. The armies of darkness may surround you, but all they can do is make noise. They shout empty threats trying to make you afraid because fear is the only thing that can stop you. Rise up, brave heart. I am giving you my authority. Stand above the conflicts that came to steal your joy. Today your chains are broken. The discouragement that weighed you down, the emotions that hurt you, the memories that wounded you, all of it ends today. Give me your hand and let us walk together toward victory and blessing. I will say it again because I know these words bring you peace and joy. I love you. You need love, so come to safety. Come to me. Every morning I wait for you, ready to cover you with care and wrap you in my protection, to warm you with the sweet embrace of love. I take you by the hand, and as if you were still a child, I bring you to my table. I feed you with this divine word that gives you strength. I wipe your face, smooth your hair, place in your hands a bag full of new dreams, and together we live and fight. I love to see your face happy and confident because you know I am holding your hand. You do not feel alone. You know I will defend you. Whatever happens, even if we walk through dangerous paths or deep valleys, I will be there. You will look at me with eyes full of trust, and I will never let go of your hand. Let us go. Let us keep walking. Today we begin to climb the mountain together. At the top you will find victories already won and receive a new purpose. I will renew your hope. The sun that shines over your future will paint blessings across your life, and the path you walk will be marked, showing the exact place where you will reach your destiny and fulfill your purpose. When we arrive there, you will find a spring, a river of clear living water. You will see yourself reflected in it like a mirror, and you will realize how much you have grown, how far you have come, how much you have overcome, and you will finally understand that every tear was worth it. Every prayer was heard. Every moment of waiting was preparation. This is not the end of your story, my beloved child. This is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. Your most beautiful days are ahead of you, not behind you. So lift your head, wipe your tears, take a deep breath. I love you more than you will ever know, and I am so excited about what I am about to do in your life. Get ready. Your breakthrough is here.
Every chosen one reaches a season where heaven feels distant. You pray, but the answers feel delayed. You seek direction, but confusion seems louder. You try to walk in alignment, yet obstacles appear out of nowhere. Many begin to ask, why is God not speaking to me the way He used to? Why does it feel like my prayers are hitting a wall? What most don't realize is that there are subtle but powerful barriers, internal and external, blocking clarity, guidance, and divine communication. These barriers often hide in familiar routines and emotional patterns, silently disconnecting you from God's voice. Before we go deeper into these 9 spiritual barriers, I encourage you, if this message reaches you in a moment you needed it, to subscribe so you don't miss the wisdom meant for your growth. And if this resonates with your spirit, type 1111 in the comments as a sign of alignment, openness, and divine blessing flowing into your life. 1. Internal noise. God often speaks in stillness, but many chosen ones are surrounded by internal storms so loud that divine whispers cannot be heard. Overthinking becomes a constant echo chamber, repeating fears, replaying painful memories, analyzing every small detail, and drowning out the gentle instructions God sends. Worry pulls your attention into possible outcomes that never happen, creating imagined battles that exhaust your spirit before the real day even arrives. The mind becomes so saturated with what-ifs, and maybe this and maybe that the voice of God, which moves softly, is pushed into the background. God does not shout over chaos. He has no reason to compete with noise created by fear, anxiety, or doubt. Stillness is His language, and clarity flows only into a quiet heart. But when your internal world is loud, your spiritual receptors weaken. Even when God is speaking, you cannot tell if it is Him or your anxiety pretending to sound divine. The enemy knows this. He knows a quiet soul is dangerous because a quiet soul becomes aligned, sharp, and aware of heaven's codes and directions. So he amplifies the noise through mental clutter, emotional flashbacks, intrusive thoughts, and unnecessary worries, hoping to drown out God's messages. Many chosen ones are not disconnected from God. They are simply overwhelmed internally. They pray but cannot feel peace. Not because God is absent, but because their spiritual antenna is buried under layers of mental static. The noise becomes a barrier to discernment. When your mind is racing, revelation becomes distorted. When you cannot slow down, you cannot tune in. God's voice has not stopped. Your inner storm is too loud. Only when the chosen one learns to silence the mind, through prayer, fasting, rest, stillness, or intentional focus, does divine clarity return. Quietness is not weakness. It is the atmosphere where God's voice becomes unmistakably clear. 2. Unhealed emotions. Unhealed emotions act like filters over your spiritual ears, coloring how you perceive God, people, and even your own destiny. When pain from betrayal is still sitting in your spirit, you may interpret God's warnings as fear-based paranoia, or you may assume every closed door is another rejection instead of protection. Rejection can distort your relationship with God to the point where you feel unworthy of blessings He has already prepared for you. Trauma can make you resist what God sends because you have learned, consciously or unconsciously, to associate good things with eventual loss. Emotional wounds can shape your spiritual perception more powerfully than any external influence. Many chosen ones are not lacking divine instruction. They are simply hearing through layers of hurt that bend the message. It's like trying to read a message through cracked glass. The words are there, but the distortion changes what you think you see. When your heart is bruised, you start expecting disappointment. So even when God says go, you may hear danger, and when He says wait, you may hear abandonment. Pain becomes the interpreter, and pain is a terrible translator. It will always twist spiritual truth. Unhealed emotions also create defensive barriers around your intuition, making you hesitant to trust your own discernment. You become hypervigilant, questioning everything. Is this really God, or is it just my imagination? But the deeper issue is that your emotional wounds are louder than your spiritual sensitivity. God's voice is gentle, steady, loving, but trauma echoes in sharp, fearful tones. Until the chosen one confronts and heals the hurt, God's guidance will continue to feel unclear, inconsistent, or confusing. Healing restores spiritual accuracy. When the heart is whole, divine messages become direct again. The problem was never silence. It was distortion. 3. Wrong attachments. It becomes nearly impossible to hear God clearly when you are tied to people who are not part of your destiny. Some relationships drain your spirit, pulling your energy into cycles of conflict, gossip, drama, or emotional obligation. Some friendships distract you from your assignment because they anchor you to environments your spirit has already outgrown. Certain environments suffocate your spiritual senses, numbing your intuition and weakening your discernment. When you remain connected to those who are misaligned with your calling, your spiritual frequency becomes disrupted. God may be sending guidance, but the noise of these attachments overwhelms your sensitivity. Many chosen ones miss divine direction because they stay loyal to connections God has already released them from. Loyalty to the wrong people can delay destiny more than any spiritual attack. When you hold on to individuals who operate from jealousy, selfishness, confusion, or negativity, their energy becomes a fog around your spirit. It becomes harder to know if the caution you feel is God nudging you or the anxiety coming from their influence. Some people are not evil, they are simply not aligned, and misalignment can be just as spiritually destructive as outright harm. When your circle is full of those who do not share your values, your purpose, or your growth, the voice of God becomes faint. God often speaks through peace, but peace cannot survive where the wrong people live. Many chosen ones do not realize that their discernment becomes sharper the moment they disconnect from certain individuals. Once the wrong attachments are removed, the static clears, and suddenly God's guidance becomes crisp, strong, and unmistakable. The silence you thought was heaven withholding was actually heaven waiting for you to detach. God will not compete with voices that drown out his own. Once the chosen one lets go, the clarity flows. 4. Disobedience to previous instructions. God does not release new guidance when old instructions remain unfulfilled. Many chosen ones cry out, "God is silent," but the silence is not punishment. It is a pause. A necessary, intentional pause waiting for obedience. Heaven operates through order, and spiritual assignments build step by step. When you delay obedience, you delay destiny. When you ignore a previous instruction, whether it was to leave a relationship, start a mission, move to a different environment, forgive someone, or fix a habit, you unintentionally block the next phase of direction. God does not waste revelation. He will not give you step 5 when step 3 is still untouched. Many chosen ones confuse God's stillness with abandonment, but it is really alignment. God is waiting for your action before giving you more. It's like a teacher who cannot hand you the next chapter until you complete the current one. Not because the teacher is withholding, but because progression requires foundation. When a chosen one keeps asking God, "What should I do next?" Heaven responds, "Do what I already told you." Each instruction is connected. Each step unlocks the next. Sometimes God's silence is a divine reminder. You already know what to do, complete it. But spiritual procrastination, fear, or confusion can make you stagnate. You may be praying for clarity while heaven is waiting for movement. You may be pleading for direction while God is waiting for obedience. Once you finally follow the previous instruction, the fog lifts. The next step becomes obvious, natural, and almost effortless. There is no greater clarity than obedience. When you honor what God already said, divine momentum returns. The silence breaks. The path becomes illuminated once again. Not because God finally answered, but because obedience opened the channel that was blocked. 5. Secret habits and hidden cycles. This is not judgment. It is spiritual reality. Repeated habits that weaken your spirit, even if hidden from others, can cloud your ability to hear God clearly. Secret struggles, whether emotional, mental, or behavioral, carry weight, and spiritual weight affects spiritual sensitivity. When guilt grows, prayer becomes harder. When shame increases, confidence in approaching God decreases. These cycles create an internal heaviness that makes divine whispers feel distant. The issue is not that God stopped speaking. It's that your spirit is too weighed down to receive. Hidden cycles often come with emotional baggage, regret, frustration, self-condemnation, and these emotions form barriers around your intuition. When you feel unworthy, you stop expecting to hear God. When you feel stuck, you stop believing clarity will come. The enemy uses these cycles to isolate you, telling you that you cannot seek God while struggling, when in reality, God is the place you must run to. But the shame attached to secret habits convinces you to hide, and hiding distances you from divine instruction. These hidden patterns also drain your energy, leaving you spiritually exhausted even before the day begins. When your internal world is heavy, it becomes difficult to distinguish God's voice from your own feelings of inadequacy. You may confuse conviction with condemnation, or you may mistake God's guidance for your own anxiety. But once you confront these cycles, not with fear, but with honesty and surrender, your spiritual clarity begins to rebuild. God is not looking for perfection. He is looking for willingness. The moment you release the weight of secret struggles, your spiritual hearing sharpens again. The heaviness lifts, the path becomes clearer. The voice you thought had disappeared was always there. Your spirit was simply too burdened to listen. Freedom restores discernment, and once the weight is removed, revelation flows freely. 6. Impatience. Many chosen ones desire answers instantly. Direction now, confirmation now, breakthrough now. Impatience becomes a spiritual pressure that pushes them into decisions God never authorized and timelines heaven never planned. When the heart is restless, the spirit becomes loud in all the wrong ways. You begin to interpret impatience as urgency, anxiety as insight, and pressure as divine instruction. But God often speaks slowly, deliberately, and intentionally. His voice is not rushed, and his timing is never desperate. Impatience is dangerous because it creates spiritual illusions. It makes you believe that if you don't act now, you'll miss your opportunity, when in truth, anything God intends for you cannot be taken from you. Impatience makes you step ahead of divine timing and settle for counterfeit blessings, opportunities that look right, feel right, and sound right, but are completely out of alignment with destiny. When you hurry, you begin accepting signs that are not from God simply because they appear convenient. You ignore red flags. You distort discernment. You force outcomes that were never meant to be forced. And when the pace of your life becomes too loud, the voice of God becomes quiet. Not because he stopped speaking, but because your speed makes subtle guidance impossible to hear. God's voice thrives in patience. Patience opens your spiritual senses, sharpens your intuition, and grounds your decisions in wisdom rather than emotion. Impatience removes you from that spiritual center. The enemy loves impatient chosen ones because they can be misled by urgency. He knows that if he can't block your blessing, he can rush you into the wrong thing before the right thing arrives. Many chosen ones have lost years, opportunities, and peace simply because they could not wait long enough to see God's full picture. But when you learn to slow down, truly slow down, and trust the divine pace, everything shifts. Clarity returns. Discernment deepens. You stop chasing answers and begin receiving them. God speaks most clearly to the heart that is willing to wait. 7. Fear. Fear blocks divine clarity more than almost anything else. Fear shrinks your faith and magnifies your imagination in the worst possible ways. It takes small uncertainties and inflates them into overwhelming threats. Fear makes you hear danger when God is actually saying move forward. It makes you freeze when God is telling you to step out. Fear creates illusions that look real, sound real, and feel real. But they are nothing more than shadows, designed to distract you from your destiny. When fear becomes the loudest voice in your life, it becomes nearly impossible to distinguish God's direction. Fear clouds your discernment to the point where every instruction feels risky, every opportunity feels dangerous, and every new step feels like a trap. You begin to confuse your anxiety with intuition and your caution with divine warning. Fear also disrupts your spiritual sensitivity. God often speaks in confidence, assurance, and peace, but fear speaks in panic, confusion, and worst-case scenarios. When you are afraid, your spirit becomes closed. You interpret everything through a lens of insecurity. What if it fails? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm not good enough? These internal questions drown out the calm, steady guidance God offers. Fear disconnects you from divine purpose because it convinces you that you are safer staying where you are instead of going where God is leading. The enemy uses fear to keep chosen ones small, silent, and stagnant, not because they lack calling, but because they lack courage. Fear does not mean God is silent. It means your inner world is too overwhelmed to recognize his voice. But the moment you confront fear, not by pretending it doesn't exist, but by refusing to obey it, your spiritual clarity begins to return. Faith restores your hearing, peace becomes possible again, and the voice of God, once muted by fear, becomes unmistakable, strong, and reassuring. Fear may challenge you, but it cannot stop you unless you surrender to it. When faith rises, fear loses its power, and divine direction becomes clear once more. 8. The need for control. A chosen one who tries to control every outcome unknowingly builds a spiritual wall that blocks divine flow. Control often comes from fear. Fear that God won't come through. Fear that things won't work out. Fear of losing what you care about, or fear of repeating past pain. So you begin strategizing every detail of your life, planning every possibility, and trying to anticipate every scenario. But control is a heavy burden, and it disrupts your sensitivity to God's direction. God's voice becomes clearer when you surrender, not when you tighten your grip. When you try to orchestrate everything yourself, you close your heart to unexpected blessings and divine surprises. You become so focused on protecting yourself that you leave no room for God to do what only He can do. Control narrows your vision. You can only see what you can manage. But God's plan is always bigger than what your hands can handle. When you cling too tightly to plans, timelines, relationships, expectations, God waits. Not because He is withholding, but because He refuses to compete with your fear disguised as control. Many chosen ones mistake overthinking for responsibility, but in reality, it is often a lack of trust. Divine guidance flows where surrender exists. When you stop forcing outcomes, you begin to feel God leading you with ease. The anxiety fades, the confusion settles, the path unfolds step by step. The need for control makes you deaf to God's whisper because you are too busy directing your own steps. But once you release your grip, once you finally let go of the illusion that you must manage everything alone, your spiritual clarity strengthens. You begin hearing God not through worry, but through peace. You stop reacting from fear and start moving from faith. Control is exhausting, surrender is transformative, and a surrendered chosen one hears God with profound clarity. 9. Spiritual exhaustion. Even the strongest chosen one becomes disconnected when spiritually drained. Spiritual exhaustion dulls your discernment, weakens your intuition, and makes even simple decisions feel overwhelming. When you are tired, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, the voice of God becomes distant, not because He is silent, but because you lack the strength to listen deeply. Fatigue clouds your perception. You begin mistaking spiritual attacks for ordinary stress, and ordinary stress for spiritual warfare. Your ability to sense God's peace fades. Your inner world becomes cluttered with worries and responsibilities you have been carrying for too long. Spiritual exhaustion often comes from constant giving energy, giving support, giving encouragement, while receiving little replenishment in return. It also comes from fighting battles without resting, carrying burdens without relief, and trying to stay strong without pause. When your spirit is worn down, everything feels heavier. Prayer feels harder, meditation feels distant, worship feels mechanical. You lose the emotional capacity to tune into the gentle, subtle voice of God. But exhaustion is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you have been operating beyond your capacity for too long. God never designed the chosen one to live in continuous warfare without rest. Rest is spiritual. Stillness is healing. Renewal is necessary. When you allow yourself to rest, truly rest, your spiritual senses begin to reawaken. Suddenly the fog lifts, the confusion lightens, the heaviness fades. Clarity returns not because God changed, but because you renewed. Rest restores revelation. A refreshed spirit hears God with precision, peace, and depth. Many chosen ones think something is wrong with their faith when they can't hear God, but often nothing is wrong. They are simply tired. When exhaustion lifts, The divine voice you thought disappeared becomes clear once again. If any of these 9 barriers resonated with you, understand this clearly: God has not abandoned you. His voice has not disappeared. His guidance has not stopped. You are simply navigating the same obstacles every chosen one must face before stepping into their next level of spiritual elevation. Quiet your mind. Heal your heart. Release wrong connections. Act on what God already said. Break old cycles. Be patient. Release fear. Surrender control. Restore your spirit. When you do, the voice of God will return louder, clearer, and more undeniable than ever before. Is the Zillion Mind Channel. If this message was exactly what your soul needed, remember to type 1111 for divine alignment. Thank you for watching. Chosen one, there comes a time in your journey when God elevates you not by lifting you onto a throne, but by allowing your presence alone to shake the thrones of the mighty. You may not realize it at first, but there is a divine power working through you, a spiritual authority that does not come from titles, wealth, or recognition. It comes from obedience, humility, and the quiet strength God planted in your soul. When God wants to humble the mighty, He often chooses someone the world least expects, someone overlooked, underestimated, or even rejected. That someone is you. You were not chosen because you were the loudest, the strongest, or the most popular. You were chosen because your heart carries a purity that cannot be bought, and a resilience that cannot be destroyed. The mighty often stand on external power, money, influence, appearance, or status. But you stand on spiritual foundation, and when God is ready to shift the atmosphere, He uses people like you to expose the emptiness of earthly arrogance. These signs will reveal why the mighty become uncomfortable, intimidated, or even humbled by your existence, long before you ever open your mouth. 1. The mighty feel threatened by your silence. Your silence speaks louder than their boasting. You don't need to shout to be heard. Your quiet spirit carries divine weight, a weight that shakes the foundations of those who rely on external noise to feel significant. When you enter a room, you don't enter with fireworks or theatrics. You enter with presence, with a spiritual stillness that cannot be imitated or fabricated. People who are used to dominating spaces with aggression, loudness, or ego suddenly feel an unfamiliar discomfort rising within them. It's not that you are doing anything dramatic or intentional. It's that your inner calm exposes the restlessness inside them. Your silence becomes a mirror they cannot escape. It reflects their insecurity, their fear of being insignificant without the showmanship they depend on. And when God chooses to use you to humble the mighty, He does not need you to make noise. He allows your stillness to carry a message. Your silence becomes a spiritual force field, one that reveals how empty loud authority can be when confronted with genuine inner strength. They feel threatened because they cannot read you, cannot predict you, cannot influence you, and cannot bend your spirit to their expectations. While others raise their voices to prove a point, you carry an authority that requires no volume. Silence, when backed by God's presence, becomes power, and the mighty, who are accustomed to being feared or respected because of their titles or positions, suddenly feel small in front of someone who holds no title yet carries spiritual weight. Your silence humbles them because it reminds them that true power is not noisy. It is steady, grounded, divine, and unshakable. 2. Their confidence shakes when you show up. The mighty may appear bold on the outside, walking with pride, projecting certainty, and maintaining an image of strength. But when God's chosen one walks in, something inside them trembles. Their confidence, which seemed so unbreakable moments earlier, begins to crack beneath the surface. You will see it in small, subtle ways. They begin fumbling over their words, over-explaining themselves, becoming unusually defensive, or suddenly trying too hard to impress people around them. They don't understand why your presence affects them this way, but you do. The anointing you carry is not just spiritual, it is atmospheric. It shifts the energy in the room. It exposes false confidence, artificial dominance, and the insecurities they have hidden behind power, status, titles, or material success. When you show up, the light of God shining through you forces them to confront truths they have avoided, their internal fears, their need for validation, their dependence on position to feel significant. You are not trying to intimidate them. It simply happens because your presence reveals the difference between human-made confidence and God-given assurance. They sense something in you they cannot name: strength without aggression, authority without shouting, influence without trying, power without ego, and that shakes them. They realize, even if they never say it out loud, there is something divine backing you, something they cannot manipulate, something they cannot compete with, something they cannot overshadow. This is why their confidence falters, not because of who you are alone, but because of who is walking with you. 3. They watch you more than they watch themselves. Chosen one. People who consider themselves mighty suddenly become observers in your presence. Individuals who normally command attention, who expect the room to revolve around them, begin shifting their focus toward you without even realizing it. They watch the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you react, the way you carry yourself, and even the way you breathe. They become students in classrooms they didn't plan to attend. And this is not because you are performing for them. It's because the authenticity you live with naturally draws eyes, naturally awakens curiosity, and naturally commands a respect that titles cannot purchase. When God is using you to humble the mighty, He turns your life into a silent sermon. You become a walking lesson, a breathing example, a demonstration of principles that they have never mastered. They are used to authority that comes from external positions, but you carry authority that comes from internal alignment with God. You are a living reminder that true greatness comes from character, integrity, resilience, and divine connection, not from status, not from money, not from social influence. And so they watch you more intently than they watch themselves. They begin comparing their reactions to yours, questioning their own motives, and even adjusting their behavior after seeing how effortlessly you navigate situations that overwhelm others. Your life exposes what they lack: groundedness, peace, truth, direction, and spiritual depth. They study you not because they want to praise you, but because something in you confronts something in them. They don't say it out loud, but internally they recognize that God is using your life as a measuring rod, not to shame them, but to awaken them. 4. They copy you quietly. When God uses you to humble the mighty, something remarkable happens. They begin to imitate you, often without ever admitting it. You may notice subtle shifts around you. Someone starts adopting a habit you naturally maintain, or mirrors the way you approach challenges, organize your life, or carry yourself with calm authority. They attempt to replicate your style, your demeanor, even your decision-making patterns, because your authenticity exposes the superficiality of their authority. The mighty often rely on external trappings, titles, money, influence, or loudness, to maintain their image, but they see in you something they cannot manufacture: real substance, quiet confidence, and an inner power that comes from alignment with God. They want the results you achieve, the respect you command, and the influence you wield, but they are unwilling to walk the same path of discipline, resilience, and spiritual growth that brought you there. Their imitation, though silent, is revealing. They unconsciously acknowledge that your approach works, even when theirs fails. They study you like an unspoken blueprint, hoping to unlock the secret to your success without embracing the integrity and effort that made it possible. But God allows this imitation as a subtle way to humble them. They see excellence and instinctively desire it, yet they remain disconnected from the source that produces it. Your life becomes a mirror that reflects their gaps, insecurities, and dependence on outward power. And through this process they are forced to confront the truth. Real influence cannot be copied, it must be cultivated from the inside out. The mighty may attempt to mirror your actions, but they cannot replicate your spirit, and it is this very realization that humbles them. Every silent act of imitation is a testimony to your authenticity, a signal that God is elevating you in ways they cannot fake or control. 5. They feel small when they realize you can't be bought. Mighty people often assume that loyalty, attention, and influence can be purchased with benefits, gifts, flattery, or opportunities. They are accustomed to people bending, complying, or compromising for personal gain. But when God uses you to humble them, they quickly realize that your principles are untouchable. You operate on a level where your integrity is priceless and cannot be bribed, bargained, or swayed by worldly incentives. Your refusal to compromise on values, even under pressure, challenges their perception of control. They are forced to confront the uncomfortable truth that strength and power are not measured by what can be acquired or manipulated, but by what cannot be bought or corrupted. They see that your influence comes not from external rewards, but from spiritual depth, consistency, and alignment with a higher purpose. And this realization makes them feel small because everything they have relied upon, their status, their leverage, their wealth, cannot penetrate the armor of your integrity. They understand, consciously or subconsciously, that true respect and authority cannot be coerced. It must be earned, cultivated, and sustained from a place of authenticity. God uses your incorruptibility as a divine tool to expose how fragile their influence really is. When they witness your unshakable loyalty to what is right and your inability to be purchased, their pride begins to crumble. Their usual methods of dominance and control fail to operate against someone grounded in righteousness and divine favor. They become aware that no amount of effort, no clever scheme, and no status can undermine the values that guide your life. This awareness is a spiritual humbling, a quiet but profound recognition that God is using you as an instrument to demonstrate the enduring power of incorruptibility. 6. Your wisdom destroys their pride. Wisdom is more than knowledge. It is insight, discernment, and understanding that transcends age, experience, and even formal education. When God uses you to humble the mighty, your words carry an authority that cannot be challenged because they come from a place of divine alignment. Even the most arrogant or self-assured individuals find themselves reconsidering previously unshakable beliefs when confronted with your perspective. Your speech is measured, thoughtful, and purposeful, yet it penetrates deeper than any loud argument or display of intellectual superiority could. They cannot dismiss your wisdom because it is grounded in experience, integrity, and spiritual insight that goes beyond superficial titles or social position. Each time you speak with calm authority, they are forced to face the limitations of their pride. They begin questioning things they once assumed as truths, and they feel a subtle unease as their certainty diminishes. This process is not about you proving yourself or winning an argument. It is about God using your life as a conduit of truth. Your wisdom illuminates what they lack: understanding, humility, and a connection to a higher source of knowledge. Pride, which has often allowed them to dominate and intimidate others, begins to erode because they recognize that real power does not come from showing off or exerting control. It comes from insight, clarity, and alignment with divine principles. Your knowledge humbles them silently as they see that your decisions, your clarity, and your foresight consistently reflect truth. Every interaction becomes a mirror, reflecting the inadequacy of arrogance when faced with genuine wisdom. And in that reflection, They are reminded that titles, wealth, and influence are meaningless without understanding, integrity, and a connection to God. 7. They can't manipulate you. Mighty people are often experts at controlling others. They rely on manipulation, intimidation, guilt, or pressure to bend situations to their favor. They have perfected the art of influencing people through fear, coercion, and strategic flattery, assuming that everyone will respond predictably. But when God is using you to humble them, all of their tactics fail. Every attempt to sway you falls flat, as if an invisible barrier shields your spirit. You are anchored in a foundation that is not of this world, rooted in divine alignment and moral clarity. You see through their strategies long before they are even fully articulated. Their usual methods of control, whether emotional, psychological, or social, are powerless against someone whose strength is derived from God rather than circumstance or ego. This resistance humbles them profoundly because it exposes the illusion of their authority. They realize that their influence is only as strong as the willingness of others to comply, and when they meet someone whose